If you're a triathlete, a cyclist, a swimmer, or just someone who does a bit of everything, well, this might be exactly the watch you are looking for. Welcome back to What's Wrong, where ordinary people chase extraordinary watts. I swim, bike and run perfectly average at all three, and on that journey I have collected a genuinely embarrassing amount of gear. This channel is where I work through all of it so you don't have to. Before we dive in, we score everything here on the What's Wrong rating system. 3 categories for this video: everyday usability, build value and core performance. Each out of 5, average those 3 and you've got your total completely made up, entirely ours. Anyway, let's go. Now, the Forerunner 70 is Garmin's new entry-level sports watch, replacing the previous Forerunner 55 after a couple of years, I believe roughly 5 years or so. And well, this is by far the most new features Garmin has, I believe, ever packed into a lower-priced device. Lower priced at currently $249. This is squarely aimed at anyone who wants a serious, capable sports watch without spending flagship money, because yes, sports watches are only getting more expensive, it seems. But hey, here's the thing: despite the name Forerunner 70, this is not just a running watch. Yes, as you will see here, the sport profile list is sprawling and lines up with most of Garmin's other watches. If you need it tracked, frankly, this watch almost certainly does it. Everyday usability, 5 out of 5, no questions asked. Garmin has finally brought a 1.2-inch AMOLED touchscreen to its entry tier here. The same panel technology you'd find on watches that cost, well, significantly more than this one. Colors are nice, glanceable, data is sharper in, mid-run. Now, the case is 43 millimeters, lightweight and frankly comfortable on the wrist. This is a size that will work for everyone, I would say, save perhaps children. Now, built from fiber reinforced polymer with a water resistance rating of 50 meters. So yes, that means plastic, but it does not feel cheap. Garmin paired the touchscreen with 5 physical buttons, so during activities the touchscreen automatically locks to prevent accidental inputs here, so you're navigating with buttons when it counts, which really is essential in my view. On battery life, Garmin raised the Forerunner 70 at up to 13 days in what they call smartwatch mode and up to 23 hours in GPS mode. Now, if you aim for screen always on, I got roughly 4.5 days out of it, but while that is nothing bad, I actually do not recommend that setting. So the standard setting, how it comes out of the box, is actually just fine. Battery life, in my opinion, is quite frankly excellent. You don't really need to think about it, just charge it, let's say, every other weekend or so. Build value, frankly, at this price, I'm gonna give this an easy 5 out of 5 as well. Now then, about core performance, this is where the Forerunner 70 really earns its place, I believe. This is really the watch to beat nowadays. So now I'm not going to go through all its features. You can read up on the full list on Garmin's website, figure out whether it does what you need it doing. All I will say is that it is really packed with features and it does a lot. Yes, this watch will meet most of your needs. You can also get more premium features right here on this Forerunner 70, such as training readiness and training status. So these were, as far as I can recall, features locked behind much more expensive watches until, well, now I guess. Now, new to the Forerunner 70 is also an on-device quick workouts generator that builds a session for you, based on the time you have and the intensity you want, which is actually a nice little feature, and it is a great little addition as well. You pair that with free Garmin Coach training plans, and you essentially have a built-in, coach, if you will, on your wrist with no subscription required. And then, of course, there's Garmin Connect. If you've used that before, you know, it's basically mature, it's excellent. I've been using it for multiple decades now. Yep, I'm getting older. All your data is right in front of you. It's there, no hunting around in tiny hidden menus, and the dashboard makes sense from day one to pretty much anyone. And then, of course, the Forerunner 70 does not have on-watch music storage. For that, you would need to spend an extra, what is it, $100 or so for the new Forerunner 170 Music. Multi-band GPS is also absent, which could matter if you regularly run in dense urban canyons under tall buildings. Now, price is right, and it's just absolutely feature-packed. So core performance to me, you know, is absolutely without a doubt 5 out of 5. Now the verdict then. I'm not great at math, but I believe we have 5 out of 5, so you guessed it. Five out of 5. The Garmin Forerunner 70 is, in my opinion, the obvious first stop if you're looking for a lightweight sports watch under $250. You're getting a wonderful display, nearly 2 weeks of battery life, you know, features, plenty of features. The training Garmin Connect, best in class. The design is clean, intuitive from day one, and despite the name, again, it tracks a whole lot more than just running activity. So this is not a beginner watch at all, I would say. Yes, of course, if you're a beginner, buy this one. You will not regret it. But even if you are a very experienced runner or cyclist and so on, this is also potentially still for you. Yes, it's very lightweight. It might be a better fit for some when compared to, for example, the much heavier and much more expensive Phoenix watches, for example. Now, if you need music or power meter support, don't forget you need to step up to the Forerunner 170. Otherwise, this is the one. I think I covered most of it here, but if you have any questions, drop them below and I will potentially see you in the next one.